I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Hey, good evening, Mustang fans. It's time for girls varsity basketball here on Mustang Vision. We're live from Mount Vernon's gymnasium, and sitting beside me, my color man, Kirk Wishmeyer. Kirk, welcome to basketball. Welcome to winter.
Thank you so much, Jim. Great to be back. Glad to help you out this season again. It was fun last year, so I'm excited to be back with you.
I'm excited to be here with you as well. We saw the great first season for Coach Sanderson and experienced a team that I think has a lot of potential for this year as they build on his program, and we're going to hear some thoughts from Coach Kinake, and we're certainly going to get a chance to talk with Coach Sanderson at the end of this game. But unveiling this year's team against a 4A opponent in Western Dubuque is really prototypical for Mount Vernon, wanting to get started in the season, testing themselves right off the bat.
They are, and they actually kicked off with Western Dubuque last year too.
Yes.
That was a very close game. Came down to a three-pointer close to the end, and Mount Vernon wasn't able to survive that one. But, yeah, their outlook for the season is going to be very tough. They have slated to play 10 different ranked opponents, 12 different times. And it's from every single class. The only class that they don't have on the technical schedule is the 5A, but they are playing Kennedy in the 5A or in the Super Saturday. Coming up. So they hit every single class. So they're going to see a lot of good competition, and they're going to learn exactly what kind of ball club they are.
Which is really an important thing, I think, to look into the season. And anybody vaguely familiar with watching Mount Vernon through the fall knows just how quality the athletics are here, and that quality comes from being tested. It's not from kind of sitting back and just surprising people. They want to get out there ahead. They want to know how good the teams are and let the teams respond. And I think that kind of opponent distribution is going to give it that.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot from the coaching staffs across the board. If you want to find out where you're at and how good your team is, you got to get out there and challenge yourself. So a lot of coaches through the years have always said they want to kind of play up and put a little challenge on their players. So Coach Sanderson's getting right in there and doing that. I don't think he's afraid to put his crew up against anybody and keep them playing.
Yeah, that sends a message, a strong message to these student athletes right off the bat when they know that their coach is willing to put them out there against the very best and expect that very best, even in a loss scenario.
Absolutely. I think we're getting kicked off. We had the parent kickoff on Thursday night, so we got to go in and listen to Coach Sanderson talk a little bit, talk about the program. This year's 4 team captains got to lead us through a drill. We have Laura Swart, Cameron Brand, Lily C., and Peyton Simpson are our 4 captains for the year. So they led us through some drills. The overarching principle, Coach Sanderson is going to keep pounding on these guys, is gratitude, effort, and love. So it was those 3 things. So having each one of those players have gratitude, effort, and love, and then also extend to the parents. And he gave us a good way to tie that into the program and help our daughter athletes and get them continuing to buy into his program. And we saw their effort last year, how the girls bought into what Coach Sanderson was trying to get them to learn through and play through. They went from a 1-win season to above 500 last year. So we came out really slow. You and I watched a 0-4 start.
Yep.
And the light bulb went off at that moment with Coach Sanderson, and then he started putting some other things together. And he started doing kind of last year what we talked about was the Mustang metrics or the Mustang ball.
Yep.
Started putting some stats together, and he reiterated that at the coaches meeting about how the stats were shown to the kids and shown to the athletes and getting them into kind of what their strengths are and helping them to push through some of those things. So I'm excited to continue doing that. I'm kind of nerdy when it comes to numbers and stuff, so I'm excited to keep getting his stats throughout the year and see how things go. We're starting fresh. Not much to talk about from last year from a recap, but we're starting fresh this year and coming right out of the gate. We lost 3 seniors from last year's roster, and those 3 seniors accounted for 40% of our points last year. Mm-hmm. So our almost our tied leading scorer, Peyton Simpson, she is back. She had 227 points last year on the season, and Liz Doherty had 230. So that was almost neck and neck on scoring there for those two. But yeah, we have a good-looking crew this year. We have a lot of new players coming in. There's 14 returning players from last year that were in the program, 8 of which saw pretty good varsity action. So I think we're going to get lots of good looks from the different players. And one big one that was missing from most of the season last year was Elsa Appleton. So
that's right.
She's back. She was recovering from surgery last year, so wasn't able to play. She was in a couple games and then was out. So really good to have Elsa back. We're also going to see probably a pretty prominent role from freshman Courtney Frank.
Okay.
So Courtney is going to get some good playing time. I am not completely privy to the starting lineup yet, but I think we're going to see some familiar faces. And I'm ready to kick off year number 2.
I am ready too, and we're going to let you listen to a pregame speech by Coach Kinake. We're going to probably do that during halftime, just because we are so tight on our time here. And I want to get to Kirk's three keys to victory. But just so that you know, as Mustang Vision gets started in our winter season, we had a great fall season, by the way, and strong support. And here we are back again. Free to you listeners as often as we can provide these for our student athletes. And those sponsors include Ability Physical Therapy, Richardson Hanson Hotes Insurance Agency, who incidentally will have our 3-point shout-outs for girls basketball this season. Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, which will be our timeout sponsor for girls basketball, Lynch Ford Chevrolet, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Holland Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates is our player of the game for girls basketball this season. Linescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robinson Construction, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, and Trevor Parks Construction. Just wanted to let you guys know those are all year-long sponsors. Those are top-shelf maroon sponsors. We are so thankful for them. Along with them, the platinum sponsor is Yox Landing for 3 seasons of support. Our gold sponsor is Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Cause Team, Palisades Family Dental, Scores and Wilkie's Liquor, U.S. Bank, Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, and then our silver sponsors for 1 season to support this winter, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mercy Care Community Physicians, Dance Arts Iowa, Mount Vernon Insurance Agency, Mount Vernon Eye Clinic, Fry Pet Hospital, and Lynn Woodley Construction. More from them throughout the broadcast, but Kirk, I'm really excited. You're a numbers guy. You've dug into, you've listened to the scouting reports. 3 keys to victory for Mount Vernon tonight to get this season started.
Well, I'm not going to take credit for the 3 keys to victory. I will pass them on. A lot of this information is given and fed to us by Coach Sanderson. So coaching staff feels the 3 keys to victory tonight is communicate defensively. So to rotate faster and talk more as they're flying down the court and getting ready. Active hands and rebounding. Number 2, he wants them to take great shots. He wants them locked in, balanced. And the best advantages come from the pace that they're going to play tonight, and then playing through the post also. Yep, and then the last thing is to limit their transition opportunities. Limit the turnovers. Get back in position first and have everyone sprint to the ball. So
those are great 3 keys to victory. And one of the things that if you tried to put a word to that, or maybe a couple of words about that. To me, there's a living into the maturing that's going on in this program, and that's patience and persistence and confidence that comes from Coach Sanderson's system that I'm anxious to see lived out through those 3 keys to victory.
Yeah.
Because you get a team that's coming off of a 1-win season, going into last year, and there's a frenetic pace to it, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who my teammates are. I don't know how to communicate. We saw that transition last year into a team that's ready, I think, to take that next step.
I was about a fourth of the way through the season last year. Kind of the light bulb went off. They started working together. They started playing their game and buying into the belief that they can actually do this. So they did a very good job last year. The only thing, Jim, we haven't really talked about yet is the addition of the shot clock.
Oh, yes.
So we are going to be in for a little treat tonight to kind of see some things. I'm not sure that the pace of the game is going to change that much for the Mustangs the way they played last year towards the end of the season. But it will be a little bit different. Hopefully the sound of it, holy smokes, when it was going off earlier in the JV game, it was loud. So the
maybe turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, the end of the shot clock and the buzzer, the new one for the quarters is super loud.
Yeah. Well, they're getting ready to start the starting lineups, introduce the starting lineups. We'll have those with you for you here as they come off. Brooklyn Fursloff is first out and starting in the starting lineup for the Western Dubuque Bobcats. And then she's followed out there by number 11, Carson Kerprick. Sophomore Caitlin Toll. And Carrington Asp comes out. And then Allie Soap is the finalist. We had number 12. I think that was Haley Wolfelkool was in there as well. Did I get that number right?
Yeah, 12 is Wolfelkool.
Yep, good. And now the starting lineups for your Mount Vernon Mustangs. And this is the moment we've been waiting for. Kirk does not have insider information on this. Here's the reveal. Starting off, number 5, senior Cameron Brand, fresh off of a great volleyball season. And starting a freshman, Coach Sanderson not afraid to get it going this season with some youth. Number 10, Courtney Frank. And then another senior, probably one of the most stable individuals on the team, just locking this team down. Number 11, Lily C. Super athlete, number 10, number 23. Or let me see, a sophomore, number 23, Aaron Jackson. We haven't talked about our Twin Towers yet.
No, we have not.
Number 24, junior Brindley Rasmussen, is the 5th starter for the Mustangs. We're going to rise for the national anthem. We'll be right back for some more thoughts on the game. And the national anthem under our belts. We're ready for basketball, Kirk, and head coach for Mount Vernon, of course this year, once again, Coach Nate Sanderson. He's assisted by Ben Knake, Lori Moss, Miranda Zlatis, and Jake Meisner. Western Dubuque, head coach Amy Ostwinkle. She's assisted by Gary Kleisner, Erica Zangara, and Cece Zangara. Kirk, couple of things that we didn't quite get to. Of course, the shot clock, hit that just briefly. Last year we had the luxury of the Twin Towers and Liz Doherty and Brindley Rasmussen. This year, graduating Liz Doherty, Brindley gets a year older, and we bring in some strong youth, probably top 5 volleyball players in the state this year, Chloe Meester.
Yes.
To bring in a new era of Twin Towers for Mount Vernon.
Chloe got some good playing time in the first half of the JV game. She's on the bench for the varsity. One of the things that coaches watch for is the amount of playing time. So you're only allowed 6 quarters in a night.
Yep.
So the JV players, the numbers are down this year for basketball across the state. So the JV players were playing a little bit of both, JV and varsity.
And the tip's going to go to Courtney Frack's going to come down with it. She's somehow able to hold on to the dribble, but then takes an extra one as she tries to climb out of the defense. What did I say? Yes, Frank.
Courtney Frank.
Did I not say Frank? I must have said something else. Thank you for that.
Yes.
That's one of the great things about getting into a season, and especially when you're pulling out freshmen, you get introduced to a lot of names, a lot of players you're not used to seeing.
Absolutely.
Shot for Western Dubuque, no good. Weak side rebound. Western Dubuque playing a perimeter. They are going to go down inside on Brindley Rasmussen, and the shot goes for Allie Soap to start the scoring for Western Dubuque. 2-0. You should be able to see that quite well on the scoreboard. Mount Vernon now passing perimeter. Courtney Frank.
I think that was Carrington Asp that was on that score.
It was. I wrote the number down the wrong place. Miss for Mount Vernon, rebounded by Brooklyn Fursloff for the Bobcats. Asp with the ball up top. She had the shot down underneath. Now is on the perimeter. Over to Wolfecool. Down to Asp on the block. Back out to Wolfecool.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
I'm getting a text message. We got no sound.
No sound from us. Thank you. Let's find out why that is. They may be on the, let's see about that. That they might be on the different feed. So I'm just going to check mine as well.
Yeah, sorry, folks out there. We're double checking something here. We're got a couple of text messages that we got no sound on their feed, so we're trying to make sure we got that up and running for you.
Yeah, that's not good if we don't have any sound. Back out top for the Bobcats, and it's going to go off of Carson Keprick. Okay, I've got it on my feed. So Kirk, if you could just text out to them, they need to make sure that they're not on the JV feed. What happens with these with our coaches is that they're running a couple of different videos. And if you follow our Mustang Vision subscription, you'll always get the feed that has our audio instead of sometimes they get live streamed without the interface for our broadcast team. So appreciate that for our listeners that were calling in or texting in. We hope that gets them straight. So it's 4-0 right now as we reset things here from the broadcast booth. Kerprick to Asp, back over to Fursloff. And knocked away, Lily C. And there's going to be a foul called. Nope. Not sure what that.
I missed that. I wasn't sure what he was.
Lily C. with the steal, but then Wolfecool steals it right back off the pass from Cameron Brand, and the layup's good by Carson Kerprick. 6-0 is the lead for the Bobcats. Frank with the ball pressed by Wolfecool, and they're going to call that foul on Wolfecool. I believe, no, that was on Kerprick.
Number 11.
So Lily C. with the basketball for the Mustangs. Looking for their first points of the season. Lily C. back inside the elbow. Off to Brand, around the corner, around the perimeter to Jackson. Back to Brand on the skip pass. Skip once against Jackson, inside to Rasmussen, has it knocked away by Asp.
Mustangs got to make sure they find a way to get that ball into Cameron Brand and Aaron Jackson's hands. They were their most efficient shooters last year.
Great defense by Brinley Rasmussen on the turn by Caitlin Toll. There's a three-pointer, no good by Brand. Rebounded by Lily C., and there's first points of the season to Lily C. Mustangs down 6-2.
It takes a little bit to shake the rust off when you get the first game.
Yeah.
Get in there. A little bit of nerves.
Well, and we know that live basketball is always different than practice, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, even if you're practicing hard, you practice the way you're going to play, and it's still different when it gets competitive. Frank with the basketball. Dribbles back out. Reverses, tries to go down low to Brinley Rasmussen. Had her wide open and just airmailed her. Out of bounds to the Bobcats. Score is 8-2.
That's one of those things you just kind of, like I said, you got the nerves going and you're excited. Get in there, first game.
Starting five is still out there for Coach Sanderson. A couple of substitutions for the one substitution anyway for the Bobcats. In for the first time is Ella Rolls, number 4. There's a steal by the Mustangs.
Brinley had a nice block shot there.
She's going to get the love back and puts it in over the rim. Brinley Rasmussen with her first 2 for the season. And it's 8-4, cutting the lead in half. Carson Kerprick off to Wolfecool. She sees Frank in front of her, and they're going to throw it out of bounds. No, it's going to say tipped away by Cameron Brand.
Brinley's going to stay down there in that low post position and keep working her height.
She will give him fits. She's got a lot of height, and she's also not afraid to use her body. Nice weak side rebound by Lily C. Makes it around the double team. She's got some pressure down the backside. Dumps it off to Rasmussen and up and no good. Rebounded by Asp. That was a good look. A great pass from C to Rasmussen. Just couldn't get the bucket to go. Around the perimeter and the three-point shot. First three-pointer of the season. Brooklyn Fursloff, and it's 11-4 Bobcats. Bobcats pressing the perimeter pretty hard. Wolfecool goes out on C. Knocks the ball away, and she'll get the harm.
Got our first substitutions coming in.
Yeah, here they come. And you're going to see Chloe Meester, number 20 in.
And Josie Niehaus, number 22.
Yeah, Josie Niehaus, good to see her. Watched her a little bit in that JV game there in the final quarter.
Yep.
One of the quicker basketballers with the ball that you'll get a chance to watch. C able to retrieve the basket off to Cameron Brand, and three-pointer doesn't go. Asp with the rebound. Meester almost tipped it away from her. Walking the ball up, Carson Kerprick. She'll start to the right side. Also in now Lucy Ehlers for the Bobcats. Down low to Asp gets it on a nice layup. Good move to the basket, working without the ball as they got down to the baseline through Ella Rolls. C to Brand. Skip pass down to Frank on the baseline corner. She drives to the basket. Good looking shot. Gets her own rebound.
Shot. Yeah.
So often,
good strong drive right to the basket.
Yeah, and so often, Kirk, as the shooter, you follow your ball. You follow your ball, good things are going to happen, and she did that.
Yeah.
Brand inbounds to Niehaus. Niehaus three-pointer, no good, off front rim. Rebounded on the weak side by Ella Rolls. Frank with some pressure gets the steal. Oh, and she's not able to get the shot off the backboard to go, and a frustration foul. So Frank showing some early aggression.
Getting right in there. She's not afraid to play with the varsity lineup here.
Bobcats with the basketball. Up top, Carson Kerprick. They go baseline corner to Asp. Back out to Kerprick. Long three-pointer on the way. That'll go short. Asp able to retrieve it without touching the end line, but she throws it away to the Mustangs. Down to Frank. Frank dribbles up into the lane. Bounces out to C. Over to Niehaus for a three-pointer. Nice-looking three-pointer shot, but just a little short. Josie needs to keep shooting that.
She'll keep shooting that. She did a pretty good job with some threes earlier in the JV game. There she goes.
And no backcourt violation. And a timeout's going to be called by Coach Ostwinkle.
You saw some of that speed right there that you did mention earlier from Josie. So it was some good hustle by the girls.
Not afraid to scrap either. We saw that, again, in the latter half of the season last year. They will mix it up. They know they're tough. They know that that's one of the advantages that they can bring to this game.
Absolutely. I lost my train of thought there, Jim. I was looking at something else here.
We take the timeout with Coach Ostwinkle at 13-4 with this timeout. That timeout brought to you this season by Gary's Foods. Thank you, Gary's Foods, for each of the timeouts that we'll get a chance to kind of reset ourselves.
That's awfully nice of all of our local sponsors that help us out with the Mustang Vision here. That's one of the many, many things I hear from community members of how appreciative they are of being able to watch this live stream for all of our various sports.
Kirkbrooke with the ball, gets it back. Works it back to Ehlers. Oh, and there's a three-pointer by Ehlers, and that makes it 16-4. Frank to Niehaus to Meester down in the lane. She passes out to Jackson around the perimeter to Brand. Three-pointer on the way. Back iron. Chased down by Kirkbrooke. So Mustangs getting shots, getting quality shots, just not able to find it in.
They're not dropping them in the hoop.
A lot of front rims, a lot of back rims.
Well, keep working. They can.
Yep. And there's the 3 seconds in the lane. Call on Caitlin Toll. That'll be a turnover to the Mustangs. Brand inbounds it to Frank, gets it back. She'll bring it up. And we got 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Quick first quarter with the Mustangs down 16-4. Jackson off of Niehaus's hands. She tracks it down, and she's going to be bumped. And that'll be Ella Rolls with the foul. Brindley Rasmussen coming back in from Meester. 21 seconds left on the clock. Nice moment to start the game, as is tradition here in the high school gymnasium, is appreciation for the officials. They work really hard in these games, and we just don't have enough officials in the games today.
It's a tough job.
Brindley Rasmussen got a point-blank look, got her own shot back, put it back up, no good, and it gets knocked out to Frank. Frank's three-pointer misses wide as she had to take that final shot. So tough first quarter from the Mustangs. Some building blocks. That's one of the things that I remember Coach Sanderson talking a lot about. You mentioned Mustang ball, and building blocks kind of goes hand in hand. So some things that we can look at in that first quarter. Obviously, the score, we're on the downside of that. Thoughts you have as you get to watch them for the first time?
Well, I think they're getting used to being out there on the floor and getting used to making some of their shots. It looks like they're a little rusty and maybe not communicating as much on the floor as they should have been on Coach Sanderson's key point. So getting communication and just keep following through with those shots, because you're mentioned they're getting some good shots or some good looks in there. So
yeah,
keep following through. Keep after that basket, and they'll start getting some points. And
I think the Bobcats, being well coached, had to have come in to this contest expecting to see us shoot perimeter.
I would think so. Yeah, that was one of our big point locations last year, was out on the perimeter, 3 points. So we're carrying over a lot of that momentum.
Katie McKenna in for the Bobcats to start the second quarter. She passes off to Wolfecool, and Rasmussen reaches around Asp, will be called for the foul. 3 fouls in that first quarter for Western Dubuque, just 2 for the Mustangs. That evens it up at 3 apiece. First foul of the contest for Rasmussen. Wolfecool working on Brand, dumps it down low. Rasmussen tried to give some decent defense there to Caitlin Toll. But she was able to get around her, tossed it in off the backboard, and there's an over and back as Lily C. retrieved it, flying over the center line. Brand released the ball just a little too early. And that will be a turnover for the Mustangs. 18-4 is the lead right now. McKenna down low to Toll. Back out to McKenna, around to Wolfecool. Back to McKenna. Bobcats working for the perimeter, looking for Asp down low, trying to get her free. And there's a carry on McKenna. We'll turn the ball back over to the Mustangs. McKenna, a sophomore for the Bobcats. Now Brand to C, and Brand will get it back. C's going to start the ball for the Mustangs, driving all the way into the lane, back out to Niehaus. Niehaus is going to get called for a travel. Boy, she wanted to shoot it, Kurt.
Yeah, I think that was her thought process there, and she just got a little ahead of herself.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when the mind says shoot and the feet say run, it's most often going to result in a turnover.
Yes.
McKenna back to Wolfecool for the Bobcats as they start the next offensive possession. Toll down low, has it knocked away, and it's going to go out of bounds. Possession to the Bobcats.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of active hands down there, so that's one of the good points of the key to the games. The girls are moving, they're getting active, they're going after it. They're making the Bobcats work for some of this.
So 35-second shot clock is really the new. Oh, nice. Almost steal by Niehaus. McKenna was able to shield her away and get the ball back.
Well, as we suspected, the shot clock has not really been an issue yet. They've been going quick enough, moving the ball, passing it around, so we haven't had to have any kind of violations. There we go. Erin Jackson with her first points of the year.
Richardson Hanson Holtz Insurance Agency, three-pointer for girls basketball starting the season. Erin Jackson with the shot, and it's 18-7. And there's a turnover for the Bobcats, so a chance to string a couple of stops and maybe a couple of points together for the Mustangs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 35 seconds, that's a big shot clock. It does, 35 seconds doesn't seem like a lot until someone says, hey, talk to me for 35 seconds about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, there were some coaches in years past where they would just pass the ball and pass the ball and pass the ball. So I think, Sanderson's style of play is not really reliant on, passing the ball a whole ton and wasting clock off.
Right.
So
he will try to be patient, work perimeter, but it's really for the purpose of getting that ball into the center and then a give and go like we just saw like there to Brand. Yep. But these motion offenses that we see in the game today really don't lend themselves to holding the ball for a full shot clock unless you get a good defensive stance like we have here.
And now,
and
as we were just talking about that,
yeah.
And we see our first shot clock violation there.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Of course, I've got headset on that might have muted it a little bit. But it wasn't that obnoxious buzzer that you get in some gymnasiums. So Western Dubuque with the basketball. Wolfecool works baseline, drops it down to Asp. Asp turns on Rasmussen.
And Rasmussen was right there.
She was. It was good defense, and Asp just got the love roll.
Right over the top of her fingertips.
Brand to C. Mustangs down 20-7 here with 5 to go in the first half. Brand will reset it off the corner. Over to Erin Jackson. Baseline three-pointer. Erin Jackson's got two. Another Richardson Hanson Holtz Insurance Agency three-pointer.
Well, slowly chipping away at it.
Yep.
Keep working.
It's amazing how well those three-pointers do. And there's one that gets it right back again. So that's the downside of the three-pointer. You give them up, right? The lead goes right back up. First-loff with the three-pointer.
Well, nice look by Erin. Get that ball right in there.
And Rasmussen is not afraid to take it to the rim. She's going to draw the foul on Asp.
I think that was Asp first.
They're going to actually call that on Toll on the backside. Asp did have her hands in the air, and Toll reached in. Rasmussen, good rotation. Needed a little bit more arc on that. Goes hard off the back iron. She'll get another one. in for the Bobcats, number 23, Lucy Ehlers, and Chloe Meester checking in for shooter if she can make this. And she does.
There we go.
And it's 23-11. Rasmussen gets a needed rest.
Yeah, she's been there the entire game so far, so that'll be nice for her to get some air and water.
Yeah, for sure. First off, dumps it off to Ehlers. Back around the perimeter. Through Toll to Ehlers. Jackson standing up on her. They get the ball down in on the lane, on the block, and a high off the board. Nice shot by Carson Keprick. And it's 25-11. Frank is going to drive baseline. She'll be bumped by Ehlers. So I see I see a lot of good things coming with Carson Frank. I think Courtney Frank. Carson Frank is football. That's where I know the name.
Well, twins.
Yeah.
Taylor and Courtney. So Taylor got quite extensive time on the court for the JV game. And twin sister Courtney is getting some good playing time on the varsity.
You look at the decision-making of athletes, and I think that's one of those keys to what you're going to see. Nice steal from Erin Jackson, speaking of that as we're watching it. But just the decision-making from an athletic perspective, Courtney, presents really well already as a freshman. It's a nice takeaway by the Bobcats, and the ball's going to go out of bounds off the Mustangs.
Lily C. hustled down there and got herself in position and was able to disrupt that shot.
Good recovery. Mustangs, we saw it last year. We're seeing it already this year. Good team speed. Asp turns on the block on Brand.
Oh.
Meester with the rebound,
yes,
and they're going to call a tie-up. Foul on Rolls. Lily C with the ball for the Mustangs here. 3:40 to go in the second quarter. Erin Jackson bounces it off. That'll be a kick ball.
Kick.
So that's one of those calls that I always debate. There was actually not an intentional kick by the player. The ball going off their foot shouldn't constitute a kick. But in this case, it stays with Mount Vernon.
Yeah, you see that a lot on the inbound passes. Sometimes they kick on purpose.
Yep.
Well, it stops a quick possession, but
yeah, even though it's a reset for the offense, it can be it
can disrupt them.
Yeah, disrupt the rhythm, and they may have had an advantage going into that kickball. Josie Niehaus getting set to check in for the Mustangs. She'll be checking in possibly for Lily C., who goes to the line. Makes the first. Nope, she's going to come in for Courtney Frank. And that's the second foul of the half for Lucy Ehlers, so she'll take a seat. 25-12 is your score. C with another free throw, and she gets that to go. Lily C., nice job as a senior making those free throws. 25-13, 3.5 to go in the first half. Around the perimeter, almost with the steal. C recovers quickly to the baseline. Gets a couple of touches on the rim, and Brand rips down the rebound. Good job by Lily C. to disrupt that three-point baseline shot. She gets it back on the wing. Over to Josie Niehaus for a baseline three-pointer. Front rim, no good. Boy, she had that one lined up, Kirk.
She did. That was right on. It just bounced right off that front side.
Oh, and coast to coast off the rebound. Carson Keprick gets it to go in the lane.
Yeah, the Bobcats are just getting some shots to drop, and Mustangs are just not getting the ball to roll their way.
Tough pass inside to Meester. Couldn't find the handle. Ripped away by Asp. And the Bobcats have another offensive possession. Meester returns the favor, though, and knocks it out of Asp's hands. Quickly down the court. No, Niehaus into the lane. Rebounded by Meester. Asp contended, but they didn't call a foul, and it'll be Bobcat basketball.
There's a good little look right there to the basket by Niehaus, and then Chloe fouled up well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Meester did a nice job keeping the ball above her. And, the tendency for taller players is to bring it down and have it stolen. I think she could have stepped into that maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like she was falling back just a tiny bit when she was taking that shot.
Yep. Wolf-A-Cool, and that's going to be a 3-second call in the lane. That's going to be called on Rolls.
Well, they had 2 seconds left from the shot clock, and they were trying to push it a little bit. So I think that was going to be a turnover either way.
Oh. Niehaus and Meester out. Rasmussen and Frank back in. Brand with the ball. Start the next offensive possession for the Mustangs. She goes wing to C. Over to Frank. C gets it back on a give and go. Stopped on the block by Rolls. Up and under by C, doesn't go. And the rebound brought down by Toll.
We fought hard for that one.
Yep, Toll has it knocked away by Rasmussen. Great position by Brindley Rasmussen there. Brand to C. Mustangs need a good offensive possession here to cut into this lead.
Yeah, we need to come away with some points.
Frank tried to drive in from the wing, got stopped at the elbow. Back out to Jackson, to Rasmussen, and has the pass knocked away, but Brand is right there. 8 seconds on the clock. Frank goes into the lane, up off the rim, rebounded by Toll. Another good look by Frank. Just not quite in the window, square. 43 seconds left in the half. Mustangs down 27-13, looking for some defense here. Toll ducks underneath, passes out to a three-point look. Weak side rebound by Brand. It's Kerprick and Jackson now with a baseline three-pointer. Good! Her third of the night. Richardson, Hanson, Hotes Insurance. Another three-pointer for Aaron Jackson.
That's a fast break. Got some points quick off that. Looks like Bobcats are going to try and set up for their last shot of the first half.
Yep, shot clock's off. Just seems strange saying that.
Yeah.
Right? Three-pointer no good by Kerprick. Rebounded by Toll, and they're going to call. She got hooked into the arm with Rasmussen, and Brindley just kind of went along for the ride, but they're going to call her for the foul.
Well, I kind of talked before I should have there because we said it wasn't being much of an issue with that shot clock, but then we've had 3 instances where one of the teams brought it all the way down to like 2 seconds left.
Yeah. Yep. That's the second foul for Rasmussen in the half, so she's going to take a seat for the remaining 1.6. Toll makes the first and doesn't make the second. It rebounds out to C, and that'll end the half with the score 28-16.
Well, the key personnel for the Bobcats between Asp and Toll and Kerprick, those three are driving some of the points for the Bobcats. So I think we need to keep working on the Mustang side to take those good shots and keep those good looks coming and trying to get the ball into the rim there.
Yeah, there really isn't any surprise to this Bobcat offense. They wanted that ball to go through Asp. We're pretty confident that she can turn on the blocks at any time, either with a duck under move or jump over the top of Rasmussen. Rasmussen's a little taller, I think, than what she might be seeing most of the year. So the Bobcats were able to get their shots to go as well. We got late in the half, particularly the second quarter, where Aaron Jackson got 3-pointers to go. She's got 9 on the night with 3 of them. Really good job going through the offense and transition offense. You talked about that in Keys to Victory. Good work there to get that ball in her hands.
Yeah, they need to keep pushing that. Try and make sure they quickly turn those over. All right.
Well, so you talked about Parents' Night, starting off the season with Parents' Night, and we've got a video. We're going to take a break, let us catch our breath a little bit. We're going to treat you to a little taste of what Parents' Night's all about. We'll come back and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Hey, man, who's that cat coming down the street?
I don't know, but it sounds to me like that different man with the bone.
Sure having himself a ball.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lansing with Lynchford Chevrolet. As you're probably aware, new vehicle inventory is at an all-time low. However, there's an option. One way is for you to special order your new vehicle exactly how you want it. You pick the model, the equipment, and even the color. It doesn't cost any extra, and our salaried salespeople will work with you to make sure your vehicle gets top priority. So let us help you order your new vehicle of your dreams at Lynch Ford and Lynch Chevrolet, where we really are selling a lot of cars in a very different way.
And we're back. He's Kirk Wishmeyer. I'm Jim Beatty. We're Mustang Vision. Glad to be with you tonight. We're at the half where the Bobcats of Western Dubuque lead your Mount Vernon Mustangs 28-16 in the season opener. And Kirk, that was an exciting video for Parents' Night. So one of the things that I know, being in the community for 20-plus years, is that in every aspect of student life, community matters. Community that surrounds them, community that they are within themselves. Talk a little bit as a parent, not just a broadcaster tonight, but also representing as a parent. What's Coach Sanderson getting at with Parent Night, and how does that set the season off with that start of community?
Well, I thought it was very fun. It's good. Building their own relationship with your daughter, getting out there, letting them teach us a little bit. So the student athletes that were there running us through the drills and teaching us some of the things Coach Sanderson's showing them how to do. And, not all the parents, myself included, have played basketball. So watching and getting to learn a little bit from our daughters was fun. And then he shares along a lot of their processes and their culture builders and just things that they do. So I almost knew instantly that second that Sean Moss got the roll there and took me out. I knew that one was going to be on the blooper reel. So I was appreciative to have that big white arrow show that, we both went down to the floor on that one.
Yeah, now I also noticed early on in that video that you had that open look from the elbow, and instead of taking the shot, which you and I from our booth up here are always like, take the shot. You passed down and you looked for the extra pass for the better look.
Yeah,
well,
that was an amateur rookie mistake. Should have taken the shot.
Well, so another thing that I know, and in a lot of the work that I do in teaching, and training, one of the things that we focus on is that if you want to become an expert at something, figure a way to teach it. Right, the best way to really seat yourself in the processes and the information is to figure out a way to communicate to somebody else. And so I see that as you talk about the girls turning around teaching drills to you, that helps seat them as to why is it important, and they get to look at it from a different perspective.
That perspective is what it's all about, because getting in and doing something is one way, but when you try to convey that information on how to do it, one of the lessons I do in my classroom with my middle schoolers is tell me and write a lesson plan on how to tie your shoes.
Yes.
It's all about directions and just thinking outside the box, and it's so intuitive. Some of these girls are really good at shooting the ball, but the intuition of understanding how do I do this and what's my process and how do I get from point A to point B, it's a little bit harder to kind of explain that sometimes, or try and get others to understand what your thought process is. So it was helpful from that standpoint, and I think the girls all enjoyed it, and I heard quite a few giggles from the girls watching their parents out there doing different things. So it was fun and enjoyable.
And no injuries.
No injuries, thank goodness for that one.
No one was hurt during the filming of this video. That's great. Yeah, I took a Train the Trainer course one time, and the instructor for the Train the Trainer course, I was there to kind of help represent some contractors that were learning about the art of presenting, and one of the challenges was pairing up and trying to tell someone how to tie their shoes, and that person, their job was to constantly say, I don't understand. Right. You can't take for granted what the other person knows.
Absolutely. One of the funny things from my old professional career was watching concrete foremen try and come into the office and explain and tell project managers how to pour the concrete and things to watch out for, and problems that can occur, with different temperatures or whatever the variety of problems may be. So those guys were experts in their field. They knew it very well, but teaching that wasn't always a skill set those wonderful skilled craftsmen out there in the field had. So
it's a little different.
It was a little bit different.
It's a little different. Yeah, that's great that you've got that experience too. Well, we're back from the half. We're ready to start this thing off. It will be Mount Vernon basketball to get started here as they flip sides. Western Dubuque's going to start on defense. The starting five for Mount Vernon in the second half will be their starting five for the game. Lily C., Cameron Brand, Brinley Rasmussen, Aaron Jackson, and Courtney Frank. For the Bobcats, looks like their starting fives out there as well. Brooklyn Firslaff, Carson Kerprick, Haley Wolfel-Cool, Caitlin Toll, and Carrington Asp. And there's a three-pointer.
Good job. Lily C. drops the first one in for us.
What a great start to the half. A Richardson Hanson Holtz Insurance three-pointer from Lily C. 28-19. Bobcats with the lead and the ball. They go right down low to Toll, and she goes over the rim. Nice pressure by Brinley Rasmussen. A weak side rebound by Lily C.
Nice start to the second half for us.
Frank Strong with the basketball, gets it off to C. C drives baseline, and she'll be bumped by Toll. So a really good start to the second half. A three-pointer from the Mustangs and an early foul.
Yeah.
Second on Toll. And it'll be Mustangs inbounding underneath their basket. Brand finds Jackson. Off to Rasmussen on the block. Backs out to Jackson. Jackson three-pointer on the way, and she rattles it in. 2 in a row for the Mustangs. Another Richardson Hansen Holtz three-pointer. 28-22. Quickly to within 6. So, Kirk, through parent night and just your time with your daughter on the team now for a couple of years, got to believe Coach Sanderson is very motivational in the locker room. There's a nice shot in the lane by Kirprick.
Yeah, it's kind of his day job, so he does a very good job of breaking down culture and talking about, teamwork and being a team player. So listen to the different things he shares with them and leads them through. It's nice to hear.
And it's made an impact on this second half, start to the second half. Lily C had it swatted away by Asp, but nice defense on the return trip. And now C, actually it was Jackson that dropped it down to Rasmussen, and they're going to call, I think, a travel? Nope, jump ball. Possession to the Bobcats. So just a little bit better angle or a little bit better seal from Rasmussen. I think that pass would have.
That would have been there.
Yep. In the lane, Wolfacool, jump shot no good. And Asp was able to tip it out. Wolfacool back down low. Frank wrestles, and Ehlers not able to come up with it. Jackson steals it away. C down on the break, and she'll be bumped.
Almost got that shot off.
Versloff with the foul. Yeah, she got a pretty good body shot there. Lily C would have taken the shot if she'd had any chance to, I think. They're going to say it was before the act of shooting even.
Yeah, it was still on the floor.
Brand out high to Frank. Frank moves in on Ehlers, goes all the way into the lane, cannot get it to go, and Ehlers with the rebound.
Well, it's a nice floater.
Yep.
Just a little bit off.
Kirprick on the long pass to Wolfacool. And she got inside of Lily C. Had no choice but to foul, and it's Bobcat basketball. That's the first foul of the second half for the Mustangs. Bounce pass to Asp. Asp turns on Rasmussen. Nice pressure by Brindley, and the ball goes long, rebounded by Brand. C with the bounce. Gets inside the free throw lane. Out top to Brand. Now to Rasmussen at the line. Aaron Jackson in the corner. And Aaron Jackson is on fire, Kirk.
That is pretty good shooting there by our sophomore Aaron Jackson.
That is 15 points for Aaron Jackson on the night, all from three-point land.
Yes, and I'm not sure she's missed any yet.
She has not. Lily C with the steal, driving on Asp. Hesitation move, backs out to Brand. Brand with a good look. And Brand, Cameron Brand. Three-pointers are raining down for Richardson Hansen Holtz Insurance Agency. And the Mustangs within 2. Kirk, this is a great start to the second half.
Yeah, Coach Sanderson's got a giant smile on his face. So I'm assuming that the communication during the halftime was just keep doing what you're doing, girls, and hang in there. They're playing much better coming out and opening this third period.
They really are. And, you can see a confidence in their passing, and they're continuing to look for the shot. They're being rewarded by that early commitment to the shot.
Playing a little bit faster.
Yeah. Yep. Good, solid defense, too. Brindley has been in some excellent positions down low on a couple of shots by Asp and Toll, and really bothered the shot. So that's good to see from her. She's going to be a big key. She got injured last year and sat out. Was that 2 or 3 games, I think?
There was a few games, yeah. They as well as they played last year, they did have some injury issues that they're going with, and so far this year it looks like most of the girls on the team are pretty healthy. Our senior Laura Swart, she had a lingering cross-country injury, so I know she's not dressing tonight.
Yep.
But as long as we continue to maintain that health and keep these points rolling, Mustangs will be okay.
Yeah, now they got to mix in, mix in that defense, get the right number of stops while they were getting the basket to go. Bobcats coming out of the timeout by Ostwinkle. Nice hands by Frank, almost knocked it away. They're putting nice perimeter pressure on the Bobcats. Kerprick runs into Rasmussen. Rasmussen kind of gave a look like, nice. I can't believe you'd call that on me, and they didn't. It was travel.
I was wondering what they were calling there because I didn't see anything.
Yeah, hands were up in the air. Yep, good work. See with the basketball up top for the Mustangs as they start next possession. Down into Rasmussen. She bounces it back out to Brand, gets it back, free throw line extended, and it goes off of her hands to the floor goes Asp, out to Kerprick, and the Bobcats now with the basketball on the turnover. 3-point shot on the way. That'll be long, rebounded by Aaron Jackson, and here come the Mustangs. Brand gets inside the center circle, off to C. She drives. Nice work by Lily C. I think it was way more open than she expected.
Yep, just a little too strong.
She got by Allie Soapy. Asp, they'll let her stand out there all day long. The more she's away from the basket, the better off we'll be. Kerprick with a nice move, got inside, tipped out by Brand. Frank got her hand on it.
Get it.
And to the floor, a bunch of them. It'll be a ball possession of the Mustangs.
That's one of those things coaches are always get after the ball, get on the floor.
So Taylor Frank comes in for her first minutes. She's subbing in for Lily C. Brinley Rasmussen goes out as Chloe Meester also comes in.
So the only two freshmen we have out this year, the Frank sisters. They're both on the floor right now.
That's fantastic stuff. Taylor Frank up top, gets the ball back over to Cameron Brand on the wing. Lost the handle on it, had it tipped away, tried to pass out of it, and had it stolen by Kerprick. Hesitation move, goes into the lane, ball up. Chloe Meester with the rebound. Both Frank sisters on the court together. Courtney behind her back, nice moves. Courtney Frank handling the basketball on a rope. Cameron Brand, three-pointer! And the Mustangs have their first lead of the season, 31-30.
There we go. That was a little bit more of what I expected out of tonight's performance. Last year, this was a close game, and I just thought they were going to play really tight tonight on both sides of the ball. So this is getting into a game here, Jim.
It really is. Good work here. Wolfakul in, and she'll get the and one. Nice move around Cameron Brand. Yeah, I think we're in for a really good basketball game in the final 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah. That foul was actually recorded on Chloe Meester. It's her first. Lily C in, Courtney Frank out.
Oops.
Wolfakul does not get her free throw to go. Nice rebound by Cameron Brand. She secures it. Heads back the other way. Lily C, hesitation dribble on Wolfakul. Aaron Jackson tries to go back door. She's smothered by McKenna. Chloe Meester from the free throw line, not able to go. Nice rebound by Lily C. She drives baseline, backs it out.
Resets.
Yep. Frank in off the elbow. Nice bounce pass to Chloe Meester. And there's the first assist, Taylor Frank. And Chloe Meester's first shot of the season. 33-32. And that ball off of Cameron Brand's hands.
Yep.
Good defense. Ball pressure.
My heart's starting to race a little bit faster here, Jim.
Oh, the excitement of the young season.
Yes. Well, you always want to start it off on a good note. These guys are playing very well tonight.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's easy to see from this team already, just much more connected than they were last year at this point in the season.
Mm-hmm. Those first 4 games last year were a real big learning curve for them.
You know, and so much of basketball is the trust factor of where you are in relationship to. And Aaron Jackson stays in fuego. 18 points on the night for Aaron Jackson and a 4-point lead for the Mustangs.
Wow.
Good ball pressure by Lily C. Wolfenkuhl just a little quicker, and she'll draw the foul. Aaron Jackson just.
Wowza. six shots and 6 3-point attempts, and she's got them all.
Man, she is dialed in. Wolfenkuhl to Toll. Bounce pass to Ass, back out to Wolfenkuhl. She dribbles around, has it blocked by partially blocked. Oh, and then Chloe Meester, another block. Lily C. rips it down, and it'll be Mustang basketball. 38 seconds left in the third quarter. Jackson to Meester. Meester just outside the block. Skip past to Lily C. Into the lane she goes. A little more patience here. They're looking for the last shot, maybe. It's not quite enough time on the shot clock, but they can use most of it. Lily C. is going to take a three-pointer, though. Courtney Frank goes to the floor to get the rebound. She'll pass out of it to Chloe Meester, who takes her own three-pointer. Rattles just off. And the Bobcats with 10 seconds, down 4. And that three-pointer will go out of bounds. 1.4 seconds left for the Mustangs to do something.
I tell you what, the hustle and the ball handling skills and the skill level on Courtney Frank has been quite impressive tonight.
And they'll just hold it. So, Kirk, we outscored Western Dubuque by 12.
Nice work, Mustangs. Holy cow.
We gave up 4 points in the third quarter to Western Dubuque, a team that had scored 28 in the first half.
Yeah, we were down by 12, and we made all that up and then some.
Yeah. Yeah, that is fantastic work. Actually, I said 12. I meant more than that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Outscored them by 16.
They got 16.
Really good, solid effort by the Mustangs. We'll take this quarter break just to remind you of our sponsors, Ability Physical Therapy, Richardson, Hanson, Hoach Insurance Agency, which you've heard multiple times on these three-pointers tonight. Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, Lynch Ford Chevrolet, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Hall & Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates, Linescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robinson Construction, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, Trevor Parks Construction, Yox Landing, Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Cause Team, Palisades Family Dental, Scores and Wilkie's Liquor, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mercy Care Community Physicians, Dance Arts Iowa, Mount Vernon Insurance Agency, Mount Vernon Eye Clinic, Fry Pet Hospital, and Lynn Woodley Construction. Kirk, I think Aaron Jackson's trying to make a pretty good case for the first player of the game. Man, she's just on fire.
I would think so. She's small and mighty. You know, she's dropping in some good baskets there and taking good confident shots. I think that's one of the things that kind of drives Aaron is, you know, she's motivated by that competitiveness. So
yeah,
it's good to see those going in for her and for the Mustangs.
Really appreciative these three gals that had such a great volleyball season and then turn right around and want to pour in themselves into their basketball. I think you're seeing that in Aaron Jackson, the confidence from that court to this court. Starting out the fourth quarter with the basketball, a nice pass from Asp to Kerprick on the dive. She's fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. That'll be the second on Chloe Meester. And the first shot short off front rim. Kerprick with one more, and that one will go. 36-33. Early here in the fourth quarter. 8 minutes roughly on the clock to see how the Mustangs will come out of their first game of the season. Taylor Frank to Lily C. Hesitation dribble by C, and then the pass out to Brand. Now they go down low to Chloe Meester. The turn on Asp. Swatted away, and Kerprick with the basketball.
Good play, just didn't drop.
Yep. Yeah, really good look.
Yep.
Oh, nice hands by Cameron Brand. Stuffed the pass. Toll able to come up with it, though, and she drives right in on Chloe Meester. That's one where Chloe Meester, with a little more experience, she'll stand her ground. She gave up a back step there.
A little too much.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Chloe's third.
Yeah, and so right away, Sanderson to the bench. Rasmussen and Jackson will come in. Toll misses the first free throw, though.
And they haven't been playing Chloe and Rasmussen at the same time very often tonight, so it's a little bit newer strategy than last year's play.
Yeah, we saw Rasmussen and Doherty quite a few times together.
Yes.
Maybe it's the lineup, although Toll's a pretty big body. Lily C with a nice drive to the lane.
Open.
Good work by Asp, though, to pressure her, and she missed the shot, and rebounded by Haley Wolfelkool. Asp with the basketball in the corner, passes out to Wolfelkool, around to Kerprick. She drives lane, is bumped, and no shot.
Wow.
Waved it off, called it on the floor, and they're going to call that on C. I think that's her third. Yep.
Oh, we'll take that.
Yep. Yeah, it could have been an and one to tie it up. Instead, we've still got the 3-point lead. Wolfelkool has it blocked by C. Asp gets it out of the air, though, drives on Rasmussen, and that'll be a foul by Brindley. Asp to the line to shoot 2. You want to stick around at the end of the game as Coach Sanderson, once he has a quick word with the ladies, he will be back out to talk to us for a few minutes. Kirk and I are going to flip a coin to see who gets to interview him.
Oh, hey, look, it's tails. I lost. Darn it.
Asp with the first free throw. Bobcats to within 2. One more to go, and it goes as well. 1-point lead for the Mustangs.
Jim, we got to know our strengths. You do a phenomenal job at that interview, so there's no sense in trying to toss it to me.
We'll go with that for tonight. There's still hope. C bounces it out to Frank. To Brand. Brand's shot on the way, no good. It was a good look from Cameron Brand, and it just rolled in and out. One of those that was halfway down. Toll turns on Rasmussen.
Good job. Rasmussen just had her arms right up and went right to that block.
Yep. Frank with a nifty move behind her back, but that one got loose on her, and Wolfelkool comes away with it. But Frank knocks it back. Almost got the steal again. Courtney Frank is all over the floor here. Kerprick back to Wolfelkool. She drives baseline, gets in. It was a nice seal by Toll on Rasmussen, but Wolfelkool air-mailed the rim. It's 36-35. Mustangs still with the lead. Brand gives it up to Jackson. To Frank, dribbles across to Brand, running a little bit of weave on the top to open up Rasmussen off the elbow. She has it swatted away by Asp. And it'll be Bobcat basketball. A little stronger with the basketball here in fourth quarter, I think, will do us well.
Yes.
Oh, and there's a bank shot. I know she did not call it. I've got my headset on, but I was watching the lips. 37-36, the Bobcats regain the lead.
Yeah, this has a feeling, Jim, we're going to come right down to the wire on this one.
Well, the JV did as well.
Yes, they did.
It was a 31-30 win for Mustangs at JV level tonight.
38-37.
38-37. I knew it was 1 point. I was setting up the interview. Jackson thought about it again, off to Frank. And there's going to be a foul. So down close to the end of the shot clock. Good pressure by Frank.
Fouls will reset the shot clock.
Yeah. Toll called for her third. She's going to go to the bench along with Wolfelkool. Ehlers comes in. Rasmussen down inside the lane. Cannot get it to go. Tips it back out.
Oh.
Jackson almost came down with it.
So close.
Kerprick driving hard. Up off the rim. No good. And she goes out of bounds. Asp drives on Rasmussen. It gets blocked by the backboard. Frank rips it away. Down to Aaron Jackson. The collection not able to go, and Kerprick with the rebound. Just a little too far for Aaron Jackson.
Yeah, that last Bobcat possession, Brindley took an elbow or something to the jaw line. She's down there still trying to shake that off.
Yes, she is. And a carry up top on Ehlers.
All right, Mustangs, let's get this pulled together. Let's get a good possession.
They're going to let Brindley kind of collect herself. Meester comes back in.
I didn't see it, but it must have been a good shot because she was pretty stunned.
She's really working that jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Frank out on the wing. Down to Meester. Meester turning on Asp. And Asp just get enough. She was able to get a piece of it. Just enough of it. Ehlers side steps around. Can't get the shot to go. Rebounded by Lily C. Off quick to Aaron Jackson. And Aaron is going to be fouled by, that is Ella Rolls. So this is where you wish that the player could say, hey, can I shoot my free throw from out another 6 feet? Oh! No love from the rim. Bounced twice and out. Taylor Frank back in for Lily C. And Chloe Meester. They're going to send Chloe Meester out so that she can get down the floor a little quicker. Aaron Jackson gets the second to go, and it's a tie ball game. 37 all,
Yep.
3.5 to go.
3.5 to go here. It's going to go right down to the wire.
So the 5 on the court, Taylor and Courtney Frank, Aaron Jackson, Chloe Meester, and Cameron Brand. Bobcats with the basketball. Working perimeter, Asp in the corner. She passes Skip over to Ehlers. Kerprick way out top. Three-pointer bounces long, rebounded by Aaron Jackson off to Brand, and the Mustangs have control of the floor. Courtney Frank on the wing. She's going to drive. Dumps off to Chloe Meester. Gets the ball right back on the tip. And she goes right up for the layup. Mustangs up 2.
I think that was Courtney's first points of the game.
I think you're right. You're the one keeping score, but my eye test says that that's the truth. Kerprick misses again from three-pointer, but Frank got bumped, could not come down with the rebound. Wolfakul, long off the rim, Asp with the rebound, cannot get it
There
to
we
go.
Chloe. Good job.
Chloe Meester.
Push it.
Oh, she tried to push it a little too hard.
Oh,
And they're going to call a charge. An interesting call.
Well, Jim, I can't lie. Every once in a while I get a little too excited, and I miss who's making the baskets here. So
Yeah.
I may be in charge of trying to keep track of the stats here as we go along through the night, but
It's time for us to get a student involved to do stats.
I know I'm off by a point or two on one or two of these girls.
Yeah. When I keep stats, I'm the same way. It's tough to not become a spectator. Taylor Frank with her first shot and a three-pointer. Richardson, Hanson, Holtz Insurance Agency, three-pointer, Taylor Frank.
These points are dropping right the right time for us now.
And another three-pointer on the way for the Bobcats. Cannot go. Meester with the rebound. Brand able to control it, and she's quickly out with it. Taylor Frank dribbles around, tosses out to Chloe Meester. The ball loose on the floor. Lily C.
Ooh.
Will be fouled, and that will be on Brooklyn First-Left. But Aaron Jackson.
Aaron took some friendly fire there on accident.
She did, right in the lip. And there's a timeout call by Coach Sanderson. Timely timeout by Coach Sanderson.
Yes.
He's got plenty in his pocket. And I think he just sensed a little frenetic pace out of the Mustangs.
We got a young team here.
Yeah. So
we have two seniors that are getting some heavy rotation, but the rest are underclassmen. Seeing a lot of playing time by a freshman, and now we're getting her sister in too. So this is good experience. It's early in the season. They're kind of getting their footing, and they're finding out kind of their spots and what they can do, and they're building their own confidence. That was one of the big things I've heard Coach Sanderson talk about is watching out and making sure we get their players the confidence at the right time when they need it, and to feed them or kind of let them figure out when to hold back and when not to hold back. So it's kind of, I think that's what we're seeing here tonight is they're driving forward, and we're got a 5-point lead here with 2 minutes left.
you really couldn't put this team in a better position. First game of the season against a higher class opponent, $1:44 on the clock. a 5-point lead and a chance to call a timeout, still 4 in your pocket, and to really calm this team down and say, go back to what we've been working on.
Yep.
Right? You don't have to take the air out of the ball.
Just keep – well, we're not Tom Brady here, but let's just keep playing.
That's right. Brand, to see, you've got seniors on the court that know what pressure's like. The ball's knocked out of C's hands. Off to Jackson. Brand now dribbling around Kirprick. They're going to turn to C. 15 seconds on the clock. Maybe you saw it. Lily C took a quick look at the shot clock to make sure she knew it. Oh, a nice pass as Asp got away. She went out high to intercept the pass, and Chloe Meester was loose underneath. Great recognition by Lily C.
They just keep working it, and we're going to have a frustration turnover here.
Yep. Kirprick was looking for the give and go, and Wolfecool was trying to bounce it back out. Courtney Frank in for her sister. Mustangs with the basketball, 1:05 on the clock. Brand to Frank. And we got a conversation here between the officials. They're going to call over and back, perhaps. No, reset on the shot clock.
That's another one of those things is the officials, each school is required to have a shot clock person that is kind of the expert.
Yep.
So they need to have 3 people on their list. 2 of them are going to be constants, and the third one is an alternate. So it's just another one of those officiating things. They need to have somebody that's in there that knows what the calls are and knows how to watch the officials.
Mm-hmm.
Not an easy job. So
it's not, and there's a lot of pressure. And so they reset the shot clock, and they're going to now they ran the shot clock down to 32 seconds, which is what they wanted, and now they're resetting the game clock to 1:05, I think. I've got a text from one of our viewers that was watching the charge call and confirms that it was a charge. So they had replay. We don't get a replay up here. So that's good. Thank you to our astute listeners out there. We're watching everything real time. So with a minute left in the game, Mustangs up 7 with the ball, 32 seconds on the shot clock. Lily C brings it across center court. Mustangs looking to open the season with great win.
We got to make sure we don't do that.
Yeah, that was almost tossed away, but
yes.
A little help from Kirprick. She's going to be called for the foul.
When you get down here, the other teams, the losing team gets a little bit desperate and get going after that ball and trying to make some things happen. Sometimes those fouls will come.
So that's one of the reasons why you have seniors handling the ball, though, right?
Yeah.
Up top, right? Cameron Brand misses the free throw, but it's going to be ripped down by Lily C. And we mentioned the four timeouts that Coach Sanderson has in his pocket. He uses one right there to control the ball.
Well, we are in a 3-possession position right now.
3-possession lead, 46 seconds on the clock, and the ball.
And that's 2 of those would have to be 3-pointers. So Mustangs are in pretty good shape right now. I'm assuming Sanderson's just telling the girls to keep playing it, and let's burn a little bit of that clock and take the good shot. We saw a really good working of the ball the last possession, and Chloe Meester was wide open under the basket. They got her in there, and she got the points.
We also have not just have the ball, we also have the possession, and we have the bonus. And so there's a lot of things in favor of the Mustangs for this game scenario. Inbound gets in cleanly, and Kirprick's going to knock C into her own bench. So Lily C to the line to shoot 101. Now, I think this is a smart move. I've seen this now in about the last 5 minutes is on the line. Mm-hmm. They're releasing Chloe Meester so that she can get
go
down,
back.
right?
They'll give up the rebound if they can get a quick transition.
Yep, and the rebound comes out long. So they put Meester underneath. And that was a tough shot. Passed out. Meester with the rebound. They're fighting for it, and Toll, they're going to tie it up, and it's going to go to the Mustangs. So the only thing I would have done differently there is I think Chloe Meester needs to get back there quicker.
Now, Chloe, she's got some height on her, and she gets that wingspan going.
Oh, my land.
She is a little intimidating. She gets underneath that basket.
That's
Get those arms straight up.
Yeah. Did you play against her in parent night at all?
No.
That would be intimidating.
I tried to stay out of the way at parent night.
Courtney Frank with a free throw. Nice free throw. You think that basketball's been in her hands a little bit?
A little bit tonight.
A little bit.
She may not have the point total behind her stat line, but she's been a valuable asset to this team tonight.
Lily C. out rebounds
Three of the Bobcats. Holy cow.
And they are going to call a jump ball. So the alternate possession back to the Bobcats. 30 seconds in the game. 8-point lead. Looking pretty good for the Mustangs to start off the season here. There's the pass out to Asp to Kirkbrick. Baseline drive over the rim. Rebounded by Asp. She's going to put it back up. No good, but she'll go to the line. Chloe Meester gets her fourth.
Well, with this potential win here, this will bring the overall series between the Bobcats and the Mustangs to an even 12 each.
Of course, they see each other in the off season now. Used to be part of the conference.
Western Dubuque moved up to the Mississippi Valley. So they're a little bit larger school. They're one of the smaller ones in that class, but still a class above us.
Yep. For a little while longer.
Yep.
Mount Vernon's growing, though. You never know where we're going to be.
It's interesting to each year, like this afternoon, I pulled up the bed counts to see how all the schools fall out and see which schools are in which class. Ironically, Mount Vernon is almost smack dab in the middle of 3A. They were 35 out of 64 schools. So we are about in the middle size of all 3A participants this year for girls basketball.
That's good, comfortable place to be.
Yeah. You know, and we've seen in other sports through the last 20, 25 years, Jim, you know, sometimes we're right there. Every once in a while we get the bad side, and we're the very smallest school in the class for the sport that we're playing, and we get outmanned on some occasions, but on other occasions it doesn't seem to matter that much.
Yep. 22 seconds left on the game clock. 45-37. Mustangs are leading. Asp to the line for the Bobcats to shoot 1-on-1. Actually, shoot 2. They gave that last foul. Well, they must have called it on the floor. They're going to call a tie-up, and it'll be possession. Now, that should be possession of the Mustangs, I think.
Well, Jim, if I could just take one quick second.
Of course.
I would like to thank one of our viewers that's out there tonight, a Western Dubuque student who happens to be my niece. Elise Wishmeyer is live streaming and watching this at home. So, Elise, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed hearing my voice.
Well, glad that she was able to watch her team and her uncle.
Listen to her uncle.
That's right. That's right. We don't have the camera on us tonight.
Hopefully she wasn't watching that.
Well, she got to watch it
that terrible parent showing that I had.
So I'm pretty certain that they're going to give this to Mount Vernon. I mean, they should, because it was alternate possession to Dubuque down at this end. Now, and we're going to reverse it. No, they're going to keep it with the Bobcats. Here's where we need that replay official on the bench. We can go to the tape, and it would show you it was Mustang basketball. But 19 seconds, 8-point lead here, 7-point lead here. Still a good shape. Asp puts her elbow on Meester. Nice block by Chloe Meester. she's able to hold the ball off.
Yeah, we'll take that.
But
that was good.
Yeah, she clears the ball. So
Clean
now 11
block.
seconds.
Clean block. That was all ball.
100%. First left. Inbounds to the corner to Wolfakul, whose shot is short. Meester with a rebound. C outlets to Frank. 5 seconds. Mustangs
Hang on to it.
are going to go to 1-0. And that's the game. 45-38 is your final. Mount Vernon
That's
Mustangs,
awesome.
in less than 2 seasons, go from 1 win to starting out the season 1-0.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I was kind of looking at some of the historical stats there. You know, that we had that one win season 2 years ago, and you know, Coach Sanderson last year in his first season was able to get 12, so he almost doubled our win total from the last 3 years. So good to see. I'm happy for these young athletes to get out there, and it was a slow start. This game was kind of a microcosm of what we watched last year, Jim.
Yeah.
You know, the first quarter was kind of terrible stat-wise for the Mustangs, and they were looking a little lost on some of those possessions, but came out, regrouped at halftime, and wowza, that giant third quarter we had. You know, Aaron Jackson came out with another 3 3-pointers, so had a really good third quarter and able to hang on.
So the big question, $25,000 question to you, player of the game. I mean, when you get to this moment, you start talking player of the game, and I think there's an obvious one. But you look at the different layers of this game, and there were some strong performances tonight.
Absolutely.
By the Mustangs.
Yeah, and, you know, we talked a little bit about stats don't always tell everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, Courtney Frank did a really good job. Quite impressed with the freshman. She handled herself nicely. The ball control did really good. You know, Chloe Meester, she got out there and played 2 quarters of the JV, so she already had half a game under her belt when she got out here for the varsity game tonight.
Yeah.
She played very well, but yes, I think you and I are going to be in agreement. I would go with Aaron Jackson.
It would really be hard to go against Aaron Jackson, putting up that kind of point total. 18 points, actually 19, right? 18 on 3-pointers and 1 free throw?
I think so. I quit counting. Well, I got excited there at the end, and I missed the last bit. But one thing about Erin Jackson, she was number 2 on the team last year in efficiency with her shots.
Yeah.
And we saw that tonight. That was spot on. Her first 3 shots she made all went in. So she was 6 for 6. They all happened to be 3-pointers.
Yep.
She missed 2 baskets, I think, on quick transition down below into the basket. They had a couple of free throws. So, yeah, Aaron Jackson, good job. You'll be our player of the game tonight.
Copenhagen Associates, player of the game for game number 1 for the Mustangs, Aaron Jackson. Great job tonight, and great job by all of the girls. You can't play basketball and not have solid performances around the court. It just simply doesn't happen that you have an athlete that is so dominant that one person can control a game. Now there's the freak moments where you do see that, but by and large we're going to see that all season long. We're going to see this team have some shining moments from a lot of different players, and I think you saw it from Courtney Frank. I mean, even Taylor Frank with her 3-pointer and her ability to come in and dish and dive, right? Or dive and dish. Chloe Meester, some great defense, some great rebounding. Brynlee Rasmussen was solid. After that first quarter, and really in that first quarter too, stats didn't tell the story, but she was there. Yeah.
And, you know, the ability of these girls to come out here and play is quite impressive. You know, Chloe, you mentioned it before. Chloe Meester, she's an all-state volleyball player. Won a national championship with her AAU team. I don't believe she plays that much basketball. So for her to come out here and play with her classmates and teammates and do such a phenomenal job, and she's continuing to learn. You know, she's pretty, I don't want to say raw, but she's pretty fresh when it comes to her playing ability in basketball. So she's continuing to grow. I mean, we saw her grow phenomenally last year, and I think it'll take a couple games. She'll probably be right back into it this year.
Yep.
It's really nice to see. It's kind of mixing around a little bit. They didn't go terribly deep on their bench tonight. Coach Sanderson showed that last year also, and there's going to be a lot of good playing time for these girls as the season goes on.
I think so too, and I kind of alluded to it earlier. I'm really impressed with the 3 girls that did have such a tremendous volleyball season again this year, coming out, committing to the process, committing to the work in a sport that really does challenge them. It's not maybe their preferred sport, but they're showing their passion for it, and they're showing up as leaders for those that will come behind them. That says, yeah, girls basketball is strong enough in the state and strong enough in this school to be really good.
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of surprising. We've seen this a little bit, and Coach Sanderson brought up at the parent meeting numbers for the girls' participation in basketball the last few years have been down.
Way down.
Yep, and it went down again this year. And one of the things, first sanctioned sport for wrestling for girls this year.
Yeah.
So we did lose a couple of our basketball girls that opted to go play some wrestling or wrestle.
Yep.
So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to wrap up here. Here comes Coach Sanderson, so I'm going to get out of the way. Jim,
I'll look forward to being with you December 2nd, CPU.
All right.
Kirk Wishmeyer, great job out of him. Always good to have to be able to sit down with him, both from a stat perspective and the color that he brings to the game. But also the fact that he's got that role as a parent and brings some insight. Our first game of the season, a chance to sit down with Coach Sanderson. Coach, congratulations! What a great way to start the season.
Yeah, that was great. I told the coaches and I told the kids in the locker room afterwards. I thought, given the circumstances with Peyton going home sick, literally 10 minutes before we came out for warm up, she was throwing up and couldn't make it work, and so she went home to start getting some rest, and hopefully she'll be back on Monday. But all of a sudden you got to throw Jackson into the lineup, and then our rotational plan that we went through with the kids this afternoon is totally blown to heck. So, we're trying to figure that out on the run, and obviously fitting some new pieces in here this year as well. And so didn't shoot it very well in the first half, obviously. Aaron basically kept us in the game there with a couple of threes, and but thought we were getting really good shots. We were getting to the rim. We missed 4 or 5 at the bucket, and as I told him after the game, just, Chloe came and played huge down the stretch, and we're going to be a team like that between Josie and Taylor and between, E and some of the starters and between the 2 5s. Like, whoever's got it going, on a particular night is going to get a chance to get a little extra run. And Chloe, I thought, finished the game as strong as she's played since we've had her, and so hopefully that's big for her confidence. But great way to start it. 7 for 10 from 3 in the second half doesn't hurt, but really appreciated their grit tonight and just staying after it and trusting what we do, and got a nice win.
You did get a nice win, and it's probably no secret the style of basketball that you want to play, and you do have some really strong perimeter shooters, and not having Peyton out there tonight, that certainly helps. You'll get Laura Swart back, hopefully, in her recovery, and bring even more speed to a team that I think you've got a tremendous amount of speed on that floor. But you've got a lot of tools in your toolbox for a team that's not very deep.
Yeah, we can play a lot of different ways, depending on who we're playing and what they're doing. And, we can play through the post a little bit more than we did tonight. We played a lot of drive and kick against that zone, and that was great for us. We got some open looks, and we can run. That's a big thing we've been working on the first couple of weeks, is trying to play faster. And I think one of the reasons they didn't shoot it so well in the second half is we were tired, but we could rotate some legs. Taylor, Frank had some really good minutes in the second half there that was able to give C a blow and her sister a blow, Courtney. And, I thought they wore down a little bit, which affected their shooting in the second half as well. And it's fun to play that way. Erin had 2 of those threes in transition where she's just running to the basket and getting, running to the three-point line, getting there first. And it's just a fun style to play, and obviously it paid off for us tonight.
You've got some great senior leaders in Lily C. and Cameron Brand. They've been to a lot of high-level situations. Lily C. on the softball field, softball diamond, Cameron Brand on the volleyball court. So they've been in these pressure situations. How much leadership are you relying on them to stabilize this young team? Because it's a pretty young team.
They're awesome. It's one of the best things, about this season, being able to lead with them. And, Laura Swart and Peyton Simpson are captains for us this year as well. But Cam and LC, their composure, think back to a year ago where we started, with some of the pressure teams that we saw. And they've grown a lot in confidence in what we're doing and what they're capable of. You know, we had 28 turnovers tonight, which is a few too many, but you know, when it mattered at the end, you know, they were scrapping for boards there. We didn't turn it over when they were trying to come out and pressure a little bit, got us to the line, and those guys have been steady. They're example in terms of, you know, what we're trying to build culturally with, you know, we talk all the time about gratitude, effort, and love, and, you know, I tell people, if you want to come in, you know, Jim, you want to watch our practice and what's that look like, I just watch those two, you know, that's what it is in action. And so we're spoiled for sure to have them as leaders of our team here this year.
And now you also get to look at the other end of the roster and 2 freshmen. Courtney Frank put a lot of minutes in tonight for you, and Taylor Frank came in and was just phenomenal in what limited exposure that we had to her. How good does that make you feel from a head coach perspective, looking at a couple of freshmen that you see 4 years of that kind of effort that they put forward tonight?
Yeah, those guys play really hard. They have a little bit of a wrestler mentality when they're on the basketball court. I don't know where they got that from, but it's fun to watch them play. They add a dimension of athleticism that we didn't have last year, their speed, their quickness. You know, they're able to get after some loose balls and cause deflections and things like that. And so it's fun to be able to, you know, bring Taylor in, and she can play fast. She had the real nice dime to Chloe on the one possession there in the third quarter, and then was just solid defensively. You know, Courtney, I think both of them, you know, this is 15% of what they're going to be, you know, over the course of 4 years. And as they start to figure out their opportunities in the system, you know, I think comparing where Erin Jackson was last year as a freshman to where she is this year, if we see that kind of growth out of these two, you know, they're definitely going to be big pieces for us moving down the road.
They really are. So you've got looking down the road a little bit. You've got probably one of the toughest challenges of any team in high school girls basketball this season. Looking at 12 contests against all the different classes, top 10 teams. You've got Kennedy coming up. You've got another team from Dubuque, and then CPU, which is going to be a really tall challenge in your next 3 contests. Win tonight. Looking into those 3 contests, what's your thought process to get them through this next part of the journey?
Yeah, you know, we went through this in our parent meeting and put it on our weekly email last week that we've got 12 teams that are ranked in the preseason in one class or another. Yeah. Our other 3 non-conference games are from the MVC. You know, including Kennedy coming up on Saturday at Rivalry Saturday. And to be honest with you, we were scrambling for games since Makokata left and Beckman left. You know, we had to add a couple non-conference games. And so these are the teams that would play us, which is great. I mean, it's going to be great for our development. And, you know, the thing is, I think at the end of the day, at the end of the season, you know, we want to have a chance to get to Wells Fargo, and we know the kind of team we're going to have to get through is exactly that. And so for us to be able to have 15 chances to play against that caliber of opponent that we know we're going to have to go through to get where we want to get, I think is going to be good for us in the long term. You know, and we just kind of embrace it. I mean, we are very much a growth mindset in terms of, you know, one game to the next. This game we're going to learn a lot, go back, watch the film. Some things we did well, some things we got to do better, you know, especially on the rebounding side and with the turnovers. But, you know, Kennedy's going to do the same. They're going to show us some different puzzles, and we're going to see what we can do against that. We'll learn from it and keep moving forward. So it's going to be good. You know, as I told our players and our parents, I mean, with our schedule, we are going to be significantly better this year, I think. And that was, you know, I think clear tonight. But I don't know if we're going to win any more games than we did last year just because of the caliber opponent that we're playing. But you're going to get to see some great basketball and some great basketball players night in and night out.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It was a great night tonight. It doesn't seem right that we're here already in the winter season watching you play basketball, but I'm so glad that we are, and I'm looking forward to each and every time that we get a chance to sit down with you.
I appreciate it,
Coach
Tim.
Sanderson, great win tonight. Exciting. Hope that you enjoyed it. Mount Vernon basketball, Mustangs, the girls varsity program is going to be something to watch this year. I think he's a little probably a little humble, thinking that the win total might match what they were last year. I think this team could be surprisingly special, and we saw that with our football team this year. What unexpected things that they were able to accomplish. So we'll look forward to it each and every time. Mustang Vision, again, brought to you by some incredible businesses here in this community: Ability Physical Therapy, Richardson, Hanson, Hoach Insurance Agency, Bunch Heating and Cooling, Gary's Foods, Lynch Ford Chevrolet, Downtown Dental, Iowa Physical Therapy, Hall & Hall Engineering, Copenhagen Associates, Lunescus Consulting, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, Robison Construction, Budget Blinds of Eastern Iowa, Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, Trevor Parks Construction, Yox Landing, Mount Vernon Family Dentistry, Cause Team, Palisades Family Dental, Scores and Wilkie's Liquor, U.S. Bank Home Mortgage Purchase and Refinancing, Mount Vernon Chiropractic, Mercy Care Community Physicians, Dance Arts Iowa, Mount Vernon Insurance Agency, Mount Vernon Eye Clinic, Fry Pet Hospital, and Lynn Woodley Construction. Those are our sponsors. So that's it for Mount Vernon basketball tonight. Girls get it started, and they get it started in a big way, a 45-38 win over Western Dubuque Bobcats. For Kirk Wishmeyer and Coach Nate Sanderson, I'm Jim Beatty. We're Mustang Vision. Looking forward to seeing you on December 2nd here at the home gymnasium against CPU. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll be in touch soon.